Hey everybody, this is Al Johnson from the Al Johnson Show, and I thought I'd come up here and I guess once again talk about my dissatisfaction with wrestling nowadays, mainly WWE. And for this, it has to do with WrestleMania, WrestleMania 42 that's coming up this weekend. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, and I can't believe I'm saying this, for something that WrestleMania is this weekend, WrestleMania is coming up. Going into it this year, it don't really feel like WrestleMania season or like WrestleMania period. And I say that is because I remember growing up when I would be excited for WrestleMania. It's like, oh man, I can't wait for WrestleMania. It didn't matter at the time for me. It didn't matter who was on the card. It didn't matter who was fighting. It was just like, it's WrestleMania. Excuse me, it's WrestleMania. It was just excitement. The more that I've gotten older, the more guess you could say have begun to start feeling less excitement for WrestleMania. And it's not just this year; it's like the last number of years that I feel like WrestleMania, as a name, as a prestige event, it was is it doesn't hit the same as it once was. In fact, AJ Styles, who recently retired, said in a interview after he retired, he was asked, AJ, why did you decide to retire at the Royal Rumble? Why not WrestleMania? That's like a bigger deal to retire at WrestleMania. And he said about how, well, he was injured. I think he said like he was injured last last year, and so it was that feeling of like, yeah, I don't want to keep getting hurt the way I might miss out on WrestleMania. But the key thing he said in there, he says, coming up, I always feel like or hear that WrestleMania was like the biggest pay per view in WWE's calendar year. To me, WrestleMania has lost a bit of its luster. And also for me, it was poetic that I retired at the Royal Rumble because, like, hey, I debuted at the Royal Rumble event 10 years ago, and now here I am 10 years later retiring at the Royal Rumble event. And it's one thing if I'm a fan and I feel this way, but to have someone like AJ Styles of his legendary caliber say that hits more. And by the way, this Thursday will be my predictions for WrestleMania 42. But even when I give you guys my predictions, it's like maybe only like one, two, maybe at max three matches where I look at the card, I'm like, okay, that feels like WrestleMania. The rest, no. Like, and what kind of bothers me about this year's WrestleMania is that, yes, I understand plans had to be changed because people who you wanted there got hurt and couldn't make it, so you had to make changes. But like the biggest thing, I guess the biggest negative about WrestleMania this year is that it feels more like it's TKO mania than WWE mania. And like, what's TKO? That's WWE and UFC's parent company. That's the organization that's for WWE. I don't know about UFC and I can't speak on that. But for WWE, they are charging tickets out the wazoo, so like 10,000, 20,000, $30,000 tickets for WrestleMania. And you look at WrestleMania this year compared to years previously, collectively speaking, across two nights, this year they can't even sell out 100,000 seats compared to last year. I mean, last year they were close to 100,000 seats, but close is even then it's not good enough. This year, like they're like um like over 80,000 seats, and you would think WrestleMania used to sell like 90,000, 100,000 maybe 150,000 seats. This year, they can't even sell out 100,000 seats. Why? Not just because, well, the WWE product is not good at the moment, or the matches you're putting on for WrestleMania don't feel like WrestleMania. People are even wanting to go see WrestleMania because, oh, my favorite wrestler might be there, but they're not because they're not factored into plans. But mostly, but most of all, these tickets are too stupidly expensive. So if it's like TKO, it's like putting their hands into the WWE pot that don't need to be there. All they have to do is just worry about the financials, worry about the events and whatnot, and let WWE handle the rest. But they can't even do that. Especially is boss Ari Emanuel, who I think represents what's his name? Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee, who used to play for the Indianapolis Colts, who has his own podcast, who does some wrestling on the side. He represents him because he wants to put him in Hollywood, put him in like movies and TV shows. And to do that, he's putting him involved. He's involving him in a WWE Championship storyline with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes when it don't need to be. And that was one of the matches I was looking forward to the most than anything else. Now I can't even look forward to that match because of not just his involvement, but the country singer Jelly Roll was involved. I mean, you also have I Show Speed in a match. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton, Asuka, Io Sky, Kairi Sane, Carmelo Hayes, Tiffany Stratton, Julia, Chelsea Green, the Street Profits. I could be here all day. They're not even factored into plans, and they're not going to be at WrestleMania. And it's like, again, is this really WrestleMania or is this corporate mania? Because it seems like for something called WrestleMania, again, it don't feel like it. Like I said, if I look at the card for this year, only 3 matches, and that's at max, only 3 matches. I look at the card, I'm like, that's WrestleMania. And that is Oprah Femi and Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns and CM Punk. And it used to be Cody and Randy. Now it's the 6-man ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Those matches to me feel like WrestleMania. But everything else, I mean, I Show Speed in a 6 tag match. Who cares? The women's tag title fatal 4-way. Who cares? Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Cool for those guys, but who cares? Again, this is like, not to say Trick Williams and Sami Zayn don't belong on WrestleMania. They do, but I just also feel like, as I mentioned before, Carmelo Hayes, he should have been in that match. And again, I don't want to keep being a dead horse here, but it's just like if I show you guys the card for WrestleMania 17, I can show you the card up and down, and maybe apart from 1 or 2 odd choices, everything on that card, that's WrestleMania. The main event felt like WrestleMania. And even throughout the many years of the Ruthless Aggression era, maybe in some parts of the PG era, there were matches on there that's like, it feels like WrestleMania. And even back then, even though the tickets were like $100, $200, maybe even $3 at best, even though that's like, ooh, that's too much. Even that's more reasonable than the thousands of dollars that families are being forced to spend today. Even back then, the ticket prices, they were whoa, but at least they made sense somewhat. Now, no. And I really hate that I feel that way because, like I said, I grew up in the great era with Stone Cold and prime Brock Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero and prime John Cena and CM Punk and all that stuff. And it's just unfortunate that WrestleMania this year, and I'm pretty sure even next year when they go to Saudi Arabia, it won't feel the same. Maybe next year it somewhat will, but it's in Saudi Arabia. And to me, it's still weird enough you had the Royal Rumble this year in Saudi Arabia, and now next year, WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. That makes no sense to me other than, well, money gotta be made. And I remember a time when WrestleMania there were even like matches on the card that was like, I don't know about this, or I don't care about this person, or I don't care about this match, but but they would still find the effort to either go to WrestleMania or watch it because it's WrestleMania. Now it's just like, eh, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, and I'm kind of old. I'm 33 years old and jaded, but I miss the days when WrestleMania felt like WrestleMania. Now it just feels like it's just there. Oh well. But anyway, guys, that's just my thoughts. Let me know down below how you guys feeling about WrestleMania this year, and are you guys feeling the same as me, or maybe you feel the opposite? Let me know down below. As always, guys, make sure you do the following. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell whenever new videos are released. I've been Al Johnson, and you're not. Stay tuned Thursday for my WrestleMania 42 predictions.